CISO Choice Awards Vendor Recognition with Richard Stiennon.
Hi, Richard Stiennon here. I'm speaking with Brian Johnson, who's the Chief Security Officer for Armorblox. Welcome, Brian.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm anxious to hear from Armorblox. One, you've been recognized by the CISO's Choice Awards for your email security solutions. And, I think everybody agrees that email security still needs fixing. And I often ask myself, why are there 107 email security vendors when, we've already got Office 365 and everything that Microsoft will do for us? It's supposed to solve all of our problems. In particular, I really am anxious to talk to you to learn about how natural language processing plays a role in securing email.
Yeah, great question. Thanks, Richard. One of the things we keep seeing, email continues to be the largest vector of compromise. We keep seeing it named on lists for whether it's Verizon or the FBI. I think we're at almost $2 billion a year in losses due to email. And it's something that we've been continually having this issue with for a long time. Been in the space for a good amount of time. It's an issue that we will always continue to look at. The bad guys always get the ability to change their attack vectors, come at us in different directions. I think the old days of having very static rules analysis of how we're doing that has been easily gotten by most of those kind of criminal elements. For us, using natural language processing allows us to look at what's in the content of those emails. There's not the to and from anymore, time of day, but really what's in those emails, who are they talking to, who do you talk to on a normal basis? Is that something a normal person would say? Is what's the context of that? Something in security you're always looking for is how do we build that context? Natural language processing and the great advancements we've made in that in the last decade have helped us figure out better what normal is, thus so we can figure out what an attack or a compromise looks like.
Yeah, I think it's just a brilliant application of so-called artificial intelligence, because you or I can always tell when an email is a phishing attack, right? I mean, I haven't been phished in 10 years, right? It was a learning curve, mind you, but it'd be really, really hard to phish me because just what you say, you can tell from the content. It's like, why would that person want me to click on this link? I'm not clicking on that link. And I get those messages all the time, right? People just send me the link. And I'm like, no, I don't click on links. I'm sorry. Tell me what this is. Send me a screenshot. Maybe I'll look at it. Is this something where you're applying technology like GP3 to reading these emails?
It's multifaceted from us, right? And I would, say from my side, I'd like to think I wouldn't be phishing anymore when I click on anything or respond to something. But I think with the advancement of attacks and what we're seeing, I think all of us are susceptible to clicking. It used to be, really clicking on links. Now it's, we're getting them through, send me a phone number. Even a simple reply is enough to get you fingerprinted well enough to get you like, oh, we got somebody, really on the list to do that, right? I think our ability to dynamically pattern match on that process and to take new relative actions, both from what you normally do as a routine, really helps us in building that processing power to understand what difference looks like, what an attack looks like, what we should warn you about, what should we actively block. And we really try to do that best in, engaging with the end user itself. This isn't sending an alert to IT that then looks at it 2 days later and compromise has already happened. We're really trying to, push that engagement with the end user, one, to educate them, and two, to keep them safe from malicious content.
Now, how is Armorblox deployed? Does it add a lot of latency because now something's reading my email?
Luckily, we're deployed via API, especially in the Microsoft 365 and G Suite space, which allows us not to be directly in line, slow things down. We're able to see things. The great thing about the explosion of the cloud side and the provider SaaS side is the ability for us to take a look in there, see what's going on, and respond quickly to anything that we see.
Cool. Yeah, and I imagine you can add latency to email because rarely do you read your emails as soon as they're coming in, right?
Yeah, not many of us, the number of emails we're getting these days, are looking at them seconds at which they come in. Yep. But with that said, we're still on those emails extremely quick. One of the advantages of the APIs for both Microsoft and Google is they have built the ability, with the thought, I think, of some of these tools being in process to do that. And it also makes the install for us super easy. We're not taking hardware in and out. We're not changing MX records. We're not getting deep into the guts of the email aspect. We're able to deploy very easily, very quickly, and be able to provide value within hours.
You think about the fact that attackers tend to essentially do A to B testing against defensive tools. And, it would be a long time before Armorblox was so thoroughly deployed that people would have to be fighting your algorithms. And yet they're going to be able to eventually. And will you be able to detect when that's happening, do you think?
100%. One of the things, the success that we've had is the number of mailboxes that we're looking at on a daily basis, gives us a very wide range of messages that we're seeing across multiple industries. And in fact, we're starting to see some of those B2B, B2C kind of marketing campaigns, as I'll say in air quotes, that the malicious side is really trying to see what works and what doesn't work. And we've already seen them, changing their profiles, see if they can change what they're doing with us. I expect them to continue to do that. It's one of the, you can see it almost as a ring of accomplishment, right? When, the actors start changing things for you because you're having an impact on their day-to-day business. We look at that every day. We look at the emails to which we're getting in. Our analysts look at that, put that intelligence back into our product. The great thing with our deployment methodology is those, that processing goes right back into the product, day one. You don't have to install a new set of software. You don't have to, put new, this isn't the antivirus days of, downloading the latest batch, right? So we're able to deploy those simultaneously across multiple industries.
And then what does the end user see? Do they get a little warning? Do they
can get both from us. Really, we've really taken the time to design, that volume knob so customers can set it where they would like. They can get anything from a banner warning, anything all the way to the blocking the email. It's really dependent on, what they want to do, those different levels, and it gives our customers to do that. We deploy it in the way to which we think is best, as always. And that helps some of our customers who don't have that, large, security staff yet, that are building there. But as they build that staff, they're able to take that volume knob and, turn it, either turn it up. We want to block more things, or we want to block less, or this is what we want to be, notified on. So we really let them build that, into their best business configuration.
Now, sometimes the actual attacker is super important to know. So if you're, Microsoft's reported on attacks on NGOs, so they're nation state attacks. And it's really important to know if you're being targeted by that. Do you extract that sort of intelligence?
We do extract that sort of intelligence. One of the things we don't put forward too much yet. I'm sure it's something we'll be looking at and to do into the future. Obviously, if there's something for us to report or that kind of aspect back to the company, we definitely report it. Something that we see, especially if it's directly to a company, or really, like I was saying before, we're starting to see so many mailboxes. We're having a good view of cross industry, whether that's in the medical space or the banking or financial space. Really be able to start to see that, and starting to use our contacts to reach out and saying, hey, we're starting to see this. We're seeing these certain sectors attacked. We're also able to see when accounts are being compromised. So we do a lot with notification back to providers, that we think this account has been compromised, so they can take action.
Got it. This is really beautiful. Thank you so much, Brian, for introducing us to Armorblox.
Thanks, Richard. Appreciate it.
Stay tuned for more from CISOs Connect.